Today, I'm going to be breaking down UFC Rio. Main evented by Charles Oliveira. I cannot believe we are getting a free Charles Oliveira card. By the way, before I get into it, I just want to say I know that there was no Thursday video this week. Fear not. Have no fear or reservations towards me. I know there's some news to talk about, and I may do it. I'll probably do it next week. However, the Wednesday is usually when I record those news videos. We had an interview. Expect it this weekend. Mandel Nalo, Dana White's Contender Series alumni, we interviewed him. We spoke to him on the show. Episode 1 of Fixed Fights coming this weekend. I'm thinking maybe a Sunday or a Monday. Probably a Monday. Sunday's Thanksgiving in Canada. Technically Monday's Thanksgiving in Canada, but I'm doing it on Sunday. So I don't really, I'm busy. It's recorded, it's edited. All I have to do is upload it. I think you guys will really enjoy it. It was fun, man. It was super fun. It's about, 40 minutes-ish. So it was fun. But let's start with the first fight of the night. Luan Lacerda is taking on Simon Oliveira. This is honestly a pretty good fight. I just went through and watched Luan Lacerda's last fight. It was against Damon Blackshear. My takeaways from that is that Luan Lacerda is pretty low IQ in the octagon, especially when it goes to the ground. He got taken down in the second round by Damon Blackshear, and it wasn't really like a full takedown. It was kind of like a bit of a scramble, and Luan Lacerda attempts to go for a leg lock, like a knee bar, right? And that maybe happens a minute and a half into the round. For the rest of the round, he is trying to get this knee bar. For the rest of the round until the finish. And he gets finished because instead of saying, okay, it's been a minute, I'm going to give up trying to get this knee bar, which is clearly not going to happen, he sticks on it, and Damon Blackshear kind of flips into a position where Luan Lacerda's head is like this with the ground, and he just punches his head for maybe 15 to 16 times before the referee steps in. Luan Lacerda wasn't knocked out. It was a TKO, but give up the fucking leg lock, bro. He was so hard on this. But I will say, while they were on the feet, he was landing a really nice body shot. His rear hand, he's orthodox, and his right body shot kept landing on Damon Blackshear. So watch out for that in this fight. I don't know if that was just in that game plan, but that was a really nice shot from him. And he's taking on Simon Oliveira. Simon Oliveira is pretty shit. And I forget he's 8 pounds overweight, I just remembered that. I just remembered he's 8 pounds overweight. I don't think he's that much of a grappler, though. I don't think that he's that much of a grappler. If this goes to the ground, he will dominate. But I don't know that he's that much of a grappler. I think he'll probably want to keep it standing like he did in his last fight where he got knocked out very brutally. I think Luan Lacerda is going to take this fight by KO. He's also 5'4". Simon Oliveira, how are you 5'4" and 8 pounds over the 135 limit? Buddy, he has to be the shortest guy in the division, but he has an insane 72-inch reach for 5'4". No, that can't be accurate. How does he have only half an inch leg reach disadvantage and 72-inch reach, and he's 5'4"? That doesn't make any sense. Luan Lacerda is 5'7", and he's half an inch more leg reach and half an inch less reach. That can't be accurate. He cannot be 5'4". It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. We're going Luan Lacerda to win this fight by KO. Next fight, Julia Pilastri is taking on Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Gotta say it proper if we're gonna say it at all. Right, folks? Julia Pilastri, dude, can I be honest with you? I don't fucking care. about this fight. 40-year-old Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Whoops. Versus not 40-year-old Julia Polastri. We're going Julia Polastri. By the way, Karolina has not looked good in her last few fights, so I really think that she's going to get beat up in this fight. Probably a decision, probably a 29-28, going to be honest. Next fight, Lucas Rocha versus Stuart Nickel. This is an interesting fight. Lucas Rocha, by the way, has a crazy 17-2 record for being 0-1 in the UFC. His last fight, Clayton Carpenter. Again, this is another one I just watched. He's pretty slick on the feet, pretty agile, throws flying knees, throws spinning back kicks. You know, he looked all right on the feet. On the ground, he got beat up. And he got beat up pretty badly. He's also 5'3". He's the shortest man in the flyweight division. I mean, he got cut really nastily. You can even see, I don't know, maybe it's too small on the YouTube screen, but on my screen, I can see on his eyebrow here, it's kind of like there's a slit there. I believe that is a scar left by Clayton Carpenter. He cut his eyebrow open pretty bad in that first round with some elbows, while Lucas Rocha attempted to close his guard for, I think, 3.5 minutes. So, he's not very good on the ground. On the feet, he was pretty decent. End up getting finished on the ground because, again, he's just not that good on the ground, and he gets taken down pretty easily. Clayton Carpenter wasn't setting him up crazy. I did watch these fights in 2x speed, by the way, just saying. He wasn't setting them up crazy style. You know, he was mostly shooting from pretty far away, like blast double legs and just getting them not that difficult. He's taking on Stuart Nickel. Honestly, Stuart Nickel's only had one fight in the UFC, and it was a little bit difficult to see his skills. I will say, he got a grappling exchange with Jesus Aguilar from Assassin's Creed. He got in a grappling exchange with him, and he used this nice Kimura grip to take down Jesus Aguilar and get top position. And then he kept that Kimura grip and flipped around and got on the back of Aguilar. And he attempted from there to get a rear naked choke, but he couldn't get it under the chin. And he was also pretty high. He was Jesus Aguilar was facing the mat, so it was hard to see really where his hands were, but he was pretty high on the back. I noticed that immediately, and he never adjusted his weight or anything. And Jesus Aguilar eventually goes out the back door, slips out, kind of lifts Stuart Nickel's feet over his head, which was very, pardon me, which was very, very, it was smart of him to do. Because as he's getting up from having his feet lifted over his head, he's getting up, he's posting on the ground, he's standing up. Aguilar has flipped around to the front of him and jumps guillotine and gets it very tight, very early. And he ends up tapping out Stuart Nickel from a guillotine, but his ground game was pretty decent. He just made a few small errors that led to his eventual demise in that fight. So I think I'm going to go with Stuart Nickel if he can get this fight to the ground. I think I am going to say that he will get to this fight to the ground. Again, because that Kimura grip was used as the takedown. He's pretty high IQ there. And I think Lucas Rocha is just too green on the ground. So we're going Stuart, plus this height I don't like. We're going Stuart Nickel to win this fight. Maybe a submission, man. Could be a submission, maybe some ground and pound TKO. He's going to win this fight. I'll say submission for the prediction. Let us continue to the next fight. Bia Mesquita versus Irina Alekseeva. We are in a fucking Dr. Seuss book. All right, Dr. Seuss wrote these characters. Bia Mesquita making her UFC debut against Irina Alekseeva, who's just not that good. Bia has very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm pretty sure she went to some UFC invitationals or something. She's got a great BJJ record. But also, we did just see that heavyweight. Nah, it's heavyweight. Bia Mesquita is going to win this fight by submission. Easy peasy, lemon squeeze me. Next fight, can't believe I just said that, by the way. I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Next fight, Vitor Petrino is taking on Thomas Jefferson himself, all right? Former president of the United States of America. I will never live this down. I can't believe that people forgot. I can't believe that people have forgotten about it. Thomas Jefferson Honestly, I just looked at his record. Like, bro, you beat Don'Tale Mayes and you beat Muhammad Usman. Those are the two worst guys. Like, heavyweight's a really, really shallow division, and you beat the two worst guys in it and lost to Shamil Gaziev, who, I mean, I know Shamil is going to be the best. I mean, he might already. There's an argument that he's greater than John Jones at fighting. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all right, bro. Thomas Jefferson's probably going to lose this fight. Vitor Petrino, he's came up a few fights ago from light heavyweight, and then he got knocked, like, flatline KO. Kamaru Usman, George Masvidal, but it was by Dustin Stoltzfus. Maybe it wasn't a heavyweight, actually, now that I'm thinking, because Dustin Stoltzfus, I believe, is light heavyweight fighter. But that's how, like, Vitor Petrino is stuck in my memory with that fragment where, you know, the jab grabs the lead hand, pulls it down, and the right hand just fires right over it, and the dude's like I can't do it because I'm not looking at the camera. You know what I mean? Like slow motion, cartoon style. And that's what Vitor Petrino looked like a couple fights ago. In his last fight, he did get a win at heavyweight. He beat Austin Lane, but Austin Lane's another shitter of the division. Should have stayed in the NFL, my guy. What are we doing? We're going Vitor Petrino to win this fight by KO. I've been pretty decent recovering from this illness, but that's also... But, oh, dude, I haven't uploaded a video in fucking over a week. I just realized that because I didn't do a prediction video last week because I was so sick. Whoopsies. It happens. I was actually deathly ill. I was on death's doorstep. At any moment, I could have drifted off into the night and never have been seen again, really. So be glad that I'm still here. Next fight, Jafel Filho is taking on Clayton Carpenter. We spoke about Clayton Carpenter earlier. Some nice ground and pound. I think he's going to lose this fight. He's got a nice record, 8-1. But he's taking on Jafel Filho. Now, if you look at Jafel Filho's record, you kind of go, yeah, he's beating dudes who are shit and he's losing dudes who are good. He's a win one, lose one kind of fighter. But if you look at those losses, I mean, what the fuck just happened? If you look at those losses, he almost very, very nearly tapped out still undefeated Muhammad Mokaev. Who's, again, he's no longer in the UFC because he did eat Manel Kape, but we don't have to talk about it. He really almost tapped him out. He had a very close knee bar in his debut over Muhammad Mokaev. I mean, I don't understand how Mokaev didn't tap from that knee bar. It was in deep. So that's very impressive. Clayton Carpenter, I think, is just kind of like one of those guys, like, you know, a floater, I will call him. A floater of the flyweight division. Maybe will come into the rankings one day, but probably won't be that high. Kind of going to float outside the rankings, similar to a Clayton Carpenter. No, I mean, that's him. To a Clay Guida. Similar to the Carpenter Guida. Kind of weird, by the way. Clay Carpenter. I don't know, dude. Next fight. This one is a horrible fight. How it's headlining the prelims, I have no idea. By the way, I forgot to mention it. We did lose Walter Walker versus Muhammad Usman. I almost said Muhammad Mokaev. Can you imagine that fight? Walter Walker versus Muhammad Mokaev. We lost Walter Walker versus Muhammad Usman earlier in the prelims. I believe that fight maybe should have been on the main card or headlining the prelims. Walter Walker's a dude that you want to put your eggs into. That's not a saying. He's a basket you want to put your eggs into, is what I meant to say. Because I feel like he's really marketable. He sells himself well. And he's also good, bro. He's on 4 heel hooks in a row. When are people going to start knowing that Walter Walker is coming for their feet? All right? Foot fetish guy. Could have gone on the feet tier list that you cannot watch anymore. Next fight, Lucas Almeida is taking on Michael Aswell Jr. That is Michael Aswell Jr. because his father is Michael as well. Okay. I'm not going to talk about this fight. I don't care. Michael Aswell's not that good. Lucas Almeida's not that good. Probably Lucas Almeida's going to take it as my official prediction. I only wanted to make that joke. Next fight, Ricardo Ramos versus Conor O'Fley. How is this on the main card? Conor O'Fley's not good. But Ricardo Ramos is also not good. I'm going Ricardo Ramos by a unanimous or a split decision. That fight will probably not be the best. Next fight. This fight has had people confused. This fight has had people, on either side. I don't want to be, I'm not going to be one of those people. All right, a lot of fence sitters, a lot of people picking Jonathan Denise. I look at this fight and I say, bah. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you why I say bah to this fight. Mario Pinto, 1-0 in UFC by knockout over Austin Lane, who I know we just spoke. He's kind of a shitter. Jonathan Denise also fought Austin Lane in his debut, and he also knocked him out, and it was also in round 2, but it was 2 minutes into round 2 and not 20 seconds. I don't know how. It was pretty early in round 2 that Mario Pinto got the KO. Jonathan Denise also has lost to a guy like Marcin Tybura. I don't think Mario Pinto is. I think Mario Pinto is pretty disciplined, and he's pretty good for the heavyweight division. I like Mario Pinto a lot. I'm riding on I'm riding Mario Pinto. All right, into the sunlight, into the sunrise here. We're going Mario Pinto to win this fight by knockout. I think that Jonathan Denise chin is findable, and he will find it. Next fight, Vicente Luque versus Joel Alvarez. Oh my God, this fight is fucking peak. This fight is sick. Vicente, we'll talk about him after. I want to talk about Joel first. Joel Alvarez. He has 2 losses in UFC. One of them was his debut. Doesn't count. UFC losses in your debut don't count. His other UFC loss is to Arman Tsarukyan. This is his first fight at welterweight. The thing about Joel is that he doesn't fight that often. But he has never... He's... In any fight, he's 22-3. You can't see it. He is 22-3. Any fight that he has won has not gone to decision. He has knocked out or submitted every single fight that he has won in his entire career. In his 25 fights career, 22 of his fights he has won by knockout or decision or submission, and he has never won by decision. This man's a finisher. Hop on the Joel Alvarez train. I really like him. He's really fast. He's really strong. And he's moving up to welterweight for this fight. And his first fight's Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque has looked like he doesn't want to fight anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to make a joke. He has looked like he does not want to fight anymore for quite some time now. Since, for sure, the Buckley fight. The Buckley fight, he just crumpled in round 1 and closed his guard and barely got hit by anything, but he wasn't doing anything. He was just getting beat up until the referee stopped it very early into that fight. His recent, I believe his most recent fight was the Kevin Holland fight where he was choked by an anaconda choke, his own technique, his own favorite. He loves front chokes, and he got front choked by Kevin Holland. I'm going to go with Joel Alvarez to win this fight by finish, by knockout. I think Vicente is kind of a shadow of his former self. He's just... hang him up. I beg that he retires this fight, and he will be flatlined, I think. Next fight, co-main event of the evening. Davison Figueiredo is taking on Montel Quick Jackson. This one is a 1. Montel Jackson has a massive 7.5 reach advantage. 5-inch height advantage. He's so much bigger than Davison Figueiredo. This is one of Davison's first fights, I believe, where the fact that he used to be a featherweight or a flyweight will come into effect. It will matter in this fight. Montel Jackson has unbelievable knockout power. He flatlined Damon Blackshear in about 30 seconds. He's also pretty technical boxer. his last fight was really boring. I'm going to say this. He won a, I think, unanimous decision 30-27. It was really boring. Don't even remember who it was against. It's some shitter. That's something I will bring to this fight in favor of Deiveson Figueiredo. He is a massive step up in competition for Montel Jackson. I don't know why this fight is not, like, this is, to my knowledge, this is not a short notice replacement. This was just like a fight that they made. And I get it, Montel's getting kind of old. He's in his, like, mid-30s. Deiveson's pretty old. He's in his late 30s. Thank God you can't see what just popped up on the side of my screen. Fucking antivirus browser decided now was the best time to show up. I don't like this fight for Deiveson Figueiredo at all. Plus, he's also coming off of, when was that? October? January? Or December? When Corey Sandhagen popped his knee out with that 50-50 position. That was in... No, because he fought Petr Yan in Macau, didn't he? He fought Petr Yan in China. So he fought Corey Sandhagen earlier this year. And he got his knee torn apart in the 50-50 position. But that said, he's looked very good since he came up to bantamweight against some elite strikers like Petr Yan. I mean, he got beat by Petr Yan. He got beat pretty easily by Petr Yan. But he didn't, like... He still had some fight in him in that fight. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how he looks in the Montel Jackson fight. I think Montel Jackson just has so many advantages on his side that he's going to win this fight. Probably a decision. I don't think that knockout of Damon Blackshear is a common occurrence in the career of Montel Jackson. I really like Deiveson Figueiredo. He's like up there in my favorite fighters. You know what? Like that quadrilogy he had with Brandon Moreno helped me get into this sport when I was first getting into it. So I have a big spot in my heart for Deiveson Figueiredo. I just think he's going to lose this fight to Montel Jackson. He's just, I don't know, man. It really is quite sad, but I think he's just going to get picked apart at kickboxing range, and he's just not going to be able to land a strike. And he might retire? Maybe? I don't know. Finally, main event time. Can we get much higher? Charles Oliveira is taking on Mateusz Gamrot. We got Charles free, bro. I can't believe this is free. We have a Charles Oliveira fight for free in Big 2025. I can't believe it. This fight was originally scheduled to be Charles Oliveira versus Rafael Fiziev. However, Fiziev got hurt. I call him Fiziev. I know it's Fiziev. I call him Fiziev. Got injured. By the way, if anyone can let me know in the comments, did Fiziev attend UFC 318 in New Orleans? I swear on everything I love that I seen a man who looked exactly like Fiziev, same hair and everything. I was walking to the press conference, and I'm like, is that Fiziev? And then I was like, probably not. Didn't pay attention to him the rest of the time, but he was walking toward the arena as well on the other side of the street. I saw him cross the street to the other side, and I went, and then I didn't think about it again. But someone tell me, was he there? Because if he was there, I definitely saw Rafael Fiziev just in the middle of the street wearing a blue shirt. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, this fight was supposed to be Fiziev. When it was Fiziev, I was confident that Charles Oliveira would face a demonic knockout. He would meet God. He might even not recover from that knockout. However, Fiziev has pulled out due to injury. Again, by the way, I feel bad for Fiziev. I feel like injuries really fucking with his career a lot. He's kind of like the lightweight. Never mind. I was going to say he's the lightweight Dan Hooker, who's also a lightweight. Well, lightweight dudes just get broken bones all the time. I don't know why. This fight was made 2 weeks ago. I don't like this fight for Gamrot. I think that Mateusz Gamrot, and I know he beat Arman, but I think that he is just a worse version of Arman Tsarukyan. I think he's just a worse version of Arman. And Charles had a very close fight with Arman that I think that Charles won. How do you come within millimeters of tapping out your opponent 2 times in 2 different rounds? Or I guess 1 time in 2 different... I don't know. However you would word that properly. How do you come that... Like, one of the deepest Darce chokes I've ever seen in the last round. He almost submitted him in 2 out of the 3 rounds. And he lost the fight. It just doesn't make any sense to me. How do you almost finish a round or finish a fight in 2 out of the 3 rounds and you lose? It doesn't make any sense to me. Charles Oliveira won that fight against Arman Tsarukyan. And I think he's going to beat Mateusz Gamrot. Mateusz Scamrot, one might call him. I like Mateusz Gamrot. I don't think he's that good of a fighter. I don't think he's championship material, and we know that Charles is. I think Mateusz is going to come in here. If his game plan is to keep it standing and knock the fuck out of Charles Oliveira, I think that he will win this fight. But I don't think that that's his game plan. I think he wants to show off his skills. He's getting a former champ, a guy who just fought for the championship. I think he wants to show off everything he has to offer in his arsenal, and a lot of his game is on the ground. I almost just died of coughing. A lot of Mateusz Gamrot's game is on the ground. We saw it against Ludovic Klein. It was very boring, that fight. I don't think, I don't think he's all that. So I think that they're going to go to the ground in this fight, and Charles Oliveira is going to throw up a crazy submission, and he's going to get the tap out when he couldn't tap out Arman. I think he's going to get that Darce choke on Mateusz Gamrot in maybe the 2nd round. Oh, it's a 5-rounder, though, eh? Maybe like the 3rd. 2nd round. Well, we'll say 2nd round. Charles Oliveira by Darce choke in the 2nd round. I think he's taking this fight. He's also got a massive reach advantage of 3.5 inches. He's got 2-inch leg advantage. I like Charles for this fight a lot. I think that this is a bit of a layup for him, to be honest with you. And my worry is that people are going to see this fight and go, Charles is back. Give Charles the Ilya rematch. Bro. No. He's not back. He just got an easier kind of a layup opponent. I think anyone in the top 5 is taking Charles' head off. But I think he will beat Mateusz Gamrot. And that will do it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, hit that like and subscribe button. Keep a watch, bro. The Man Down Now interview, Fixed Fights, episode 1, drops this Monday. I'm pretty hype. It was cool, bro. It was sick. Interviewing a fighter was dope. And I want to do more. So, if you want me to do more, hit that like, subscribe button. By the way, I always don't mention this. So I never mention this. In the description of every video, there's a link to Full Violence. If you use that link to buy whatever you want, I get 10% of the kickback. So if you want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it. I have a lot of Full Violence shirts. They're pretty decent quality, pretty good quality even, I would say. So that would be, I would very much appreciate if someone were to use that link. It is always in the description of every single video. I just forgot to say it in the video. So there we go. Bye-bye. I'll see you next time.